Welcome everybody. NICO, Scarlet Moon here with your Pathwatchers report on the incoming wave that will be here to stay for all individuals, collectives, and experiences. This week's wave, personified by the Death card and the Devil, illustrates the elimination of entrapment. While these cards may appear frightening, it is not so. Remember not to oversimplify or split into black and white dualistic thinking. You might even interpret this combination to represent the death of the demon, if that is more comforting. As March draws to a close, there is an enactment of a great release in the spirit of the displacement wave. The Devil, representing here as the binds of attachment, tethers to detrimental, detractive influences, is eliminated. Remember, death is an end we accept as a natural, understandable, and even necessary process, bringing neither surprise nor shock. Considering the elimination of soul contracts commencing, it's no surprise that the attachment mechanic is now terminated. This wave is easing acceptance of transitions that have been resisted either by the self or by others. This is a freedom combination. The means by which certain beings would attach, control, or bind themselves to another are no longer functioning in the way they once did. The support for that dynamic and mechanic is now obliterated on a multidimensional level. Control patterns, spiritual attachments, social and environmental scripts no longer attract or maintain in this new dynamic. They don't manifest anything anymore. There may be some emotional and psychological aftermath in the short term, but only for the short term. This energy is no sloth. Some may not be prepared for such an eventuality, even if it is starting a huge ripple into true soul empowerment. Remember, it is healing. It is more than a mass cord cutting between all things. It is an obliteration of the cord attachment mechanic. The power of creation, manifestation, and all spiritual work has always been quality over quantity. As this lands and keeps, it will become much more easy and available for all to step in to their own personal power. This is true freedom in the highest interest of all concerned. This is autonomy by release. Freedom to embody the highest expressions of self more than ever. Freedom to embody love and divinity in its pure form. And so it is. Alright, Scorpio, now that we've had a chance to look over the incoming wave of this week, let's see how it's actually going to settle for you. Now, don't forget, if you ever want to get a session with me, you do need to go to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you can follow the links down below. So, let's talk about archetypal themes. What's going on in the background behind everything that you are experiencing this week? Well, with the star card upright, things are looking pretty damn good. Because with the star card upright, we actually have an interesting sort of lean in, or maybe a bit of an interesting lead showing up in your life. The star card upright is talking about a lot of miniature new beginnings that are actually starting to show promise of a big payoff soon to come. As sometimes can happen with the star, we don't necessarily see everything coming immediately, but we are getting now the clear-cut paths. It's like somebody handed us the Nintendo Power magazine, and now we know the layout of the level. If you are old enough to remember what I'm talking about. High five 80s kids. Because with the star card upright, there does seem to be something going on where a lot of your creative affairs, your social affairs, your spiritual affairs even, that maybe have been sort of difficult to unravel as far as the mysteries are concerned, we're starting to actually see the level map. We're starting to see exactly what the plot is. And the star offering hope is also showing us the quickest routes, the quickest way. So there's a dispensation of answers. There's a dispensation of prerequisites, of steps that, normally people don't always get in these certain cases, right? You have to do a certain thing, and then the school will give you the new thing, or the job will give you the next thing, or something else will be proposed. But a lot of you are kind of getting all of that ahead of time. The star card upright is also showing up here where there's a tremendous amount of invigorating of things that seem to have gone nowhere, or initiatives that never actually got off the page for a lot of you out there. Wink, you know who I'm talking to. And a lot of stuff getting off the page, actually starting to pay off. It makes sense. If you have been dealing with maybe some plans or some kind of maybe behind the scenes work that you're doing, or maybe something that is, all talk but no action, the star card upright is saying now words are starting to walk their talk. So get ready for a really interesting week. In fact, with the News and Arrivals card, we have the Eight of Wands upright, and there is a great deal of acceleration going on for a lot of you. The Eight of Wands is indicating a lot of implementation happening now, right? We're already seeing the first steps being taken. But with the Eight of Wands, this could be coming from a friend, a family member, a peer, a colleague, a collaborator, or a client that is basically launching something for you. Now, this might not be them launching it for you. It could be, but it might be the dialogue. It might be the resource exchange. It might be the permission. It might be just the act of the okay, of the authorization, of the let's get it going, of the commencement here. Because the Eight of Wands, things are going so quickly. It takes off, hits the ground running. This is something where it could be something that has not come off the page. It's been held up in discussion, held up in negotiation, and now everything is just boom, ready to go. And so I like this for you. In fact, pay attention over the course of this week, because a lot of missing pieces are going to start coming back together. And if you want to just kind of, just do a bit of your own little research, you'll actually see where that is. Whatever this matter is, whatever's been held up, it's now kind of getting to be first in line. And I'm not sure, again, if this is a project or something professional, creative, whatever's happening here, though, it's now that it's ready to go, it's ready to make up for lost time. Going on to material and business concerns, we have the King of Pentacles upright. And we actually have somebody sharing their power with you. And I'm actually feeling this as sort of an act of, it's not like generosity in the sense that it's charity or anything like that. This is ultimately somebody who is exchanging power with you. He gives you his power, you give him your power, and all of a sudden we have something bigger for both of us and all concerned. Absolutely, this does feel like on a financial or material basis. This could be somebody offering maybe to take a chance on you, maybe invest in you in some way. This could be somebody elevating your stature, elevating your position, because he's using his own power, his own moxie, his own influence for you in that sake. In fact, with the King of Pentacles, we actually see somebody who has already kind of found a way to start making what you want to do work for them. So them sharing that power with you is actually very important. This could even be a very influential collaborator or client, or maybe even a boss or a friend or a future boss or a future collaborator that has the power and the resources in their hands right now to dole out for you. And so what I like about this is that there's sort of like just a big gift that keeps on giving with the Star and the King of Pentacles, and we've got friends, allies, and resources all kind of showing up in the same they're all kind of rolling on the same lorry. It's really interesting. Moving on to love and relationships, we actually have the Ace of Swords upright. And going into love and romance, the Ace of Swords, I'm actually seeing a partner, or maybe somebody new if you're available, somehow giving you propulsion to go on with something that I think that maybe you were afraid to do. Maybe you felt like this was something that you didn't want to do because it might have been like weird for the family or weird for the relationship, or maybe just something that didn't seem like it would be your partner or this precious cup of tea. But the Ace of Swords upright is indicating there's permission here. If it's not permission you're seeking, then it could also be that maybe something that a partner or someone we're dating never really showed a lot of support for is now suddenly coming around. Because I'm seeing with the Ace of Swords, there is that typical green light kind of energy, that okay kind of energy, but there's also backup. I'm also sensing some kind of breakthrough on the part of a partner or a crush that is actually making things a lot easier for both of you. I'm not sure if this is in terms of like creature comforts, a breakthrough for them in a material sense, or possibly even just some kind of freedom, some kind of cutaway, right? This is affecting everyone, the end of these attachments, right? The attachment dynamic, it's the end of that for them. Perhaps they're being set free from something that enables them to actually, contribute something completely different to the relationship, a new dynamic to the relationship. Either way, it's all about stunning improvements this week. It's all about stunning, evolutions going on for all of you. So that is your horoscope. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it. And should you ever wish to get a session with me, go to my website. It's called integrativemysticism.com.